What's going on, everybody? It's your boy KRYPTONIAN SAIYAN here, bringing you guys another Black Clover review for Black Clover Chapter 340. And boy, do we need to put some respect on Yami's sister's name, because she does not discriminate when it comes to throwing these hands, and she's more than willing to slap Asta around faster than Sister Lily broke this man's heart only a few chapters ago. However, what this chapter at least proves to us is that Asta is in very good hands when it comes to his training to be able to go back to the Clover Kingdom and bring down the Wizard King. That being said, with my initial thoughts out of the way, let's back things up a little bit and get into the recap before we dive into the DNA of the chapter itself. Now, the chapter opens up with this beautiful set of panels where you have Asta posing with his fists clenched and he's breaking through the panels, which is a very fitting use of the impact panel to make Asta feel like he's larger than life in this moment. Ryuya is looking on with a pleased expression when he's looking at Asta. However, as expected, Yami's little sister, she ain't having none of that. Our boy Asta isn't getting off that easy because she doesn't hesitate to step up to the plate while Ryuya is speaking, and Asta quickly realizes that it's about to be on site with these two characters, and he begins to use his devil power. In this form, he's using Black Asta. The two wings sprout out of Asta's back, and while the onlookers look shocked to see this side of Asta, Yami's sister pretty much said she doesn't care. She doesn't need to sprout wings in order to look scary, and Tabata draws this hilarious panel where the background behind her is all in black and her eyes are whited out, showing that she means serious business and she's scary, and you also get a good comedy laugh out of it, which then lets Tabata feed into that tried and true tested shonen gag of the hot-tempered female character, making life a little bit difficult for our idiot main character. Within seconds, Ichiha sends Asta flying across the battlefield with a single hit, and though Asta managed to block the attack, even Asta is forced to take note of how much of a problem Ichiha is when she's fighting. Before Asta can fully regroup himself, she's begun to dash towards him, and she moves with so much speed that Asta's attack is dodged, but she not only dodges the attack, but she manages to get behind Asta, position herself for a counterattack if she chose to do so. When Asta realizes what happens, he turns his head to find Ichiha right there, and while he's put on the defensive right again, Ryuya is smiling that smile of somebody who knew full well how this battle was going to play out before the first punch even got thrown. As Asta begins getting driven backwards, Yami's sister has a ferocious look on her face that shows that she's only just getting started. With her next attack, she kicks Asta into the air, sending him flying above the bamboo stalks and high into the air. Asta groans as he's watching helplessly as Yami's sister begins to start pressing on him with her assault. Asta might have wings. He might be the main character. He might be in the air. However, that means nothing because we see how incredibly powerful Ichika is when she jumps into the air and has her hand on her sword prepared to draw it out. We see Asta laser-eyed focused, but that's just the brilliant build-up to the anticipation panels that are meant to use a setup for the impact shot. That's that gorgeous double-page spread where you see the bamboo stalks of the entire forest being sliced in half, and then on top of that, on the very bottom, you have Asta freaking out right before Ichika flexes even further by landing a direct kick, a serious kick into Asta's upper body. She knocks him out so badly that Asta appears to be on the verge of blacking out, but Asta, being the walking idiot muscle-bound Chad that he is, Asta's out of breath. He appears to be trembling, but he's standing up for more, and Ichika is shocked for a second at his determination, as well as potentially shocked at the guy's durability, and he states that he's not done yet because Asta wants to learn more about the power that Ichika is using. Asta has really good reason to be impressed as well because this man is a first-class Grand Magic Knight, and he's getting his ass handed to him by Yami's younger sister Ichika, and she's casually bodying this man. Asta went from being strong enough to fight against Lucifer in battle to getting defeated by the Wizard King Lucius, and now he's getting casually demolished by Yami's younger sister, and I love it because we're seeing Asta in the process of being broken down. Also, he can be built back up into a Magic Knight who is strong enough to take on the rogue Wizard King. However, we aren't quite at that part of the story yet, something that Yami's sister reminds Asta of when she slaps the main character plot armor off of Asta by knocking her unconscious with her next hit. While Ryuya watches with a hilariously drawn expression, Yami's sister scowls and tells him not to let such nonsense go to his head. As Asta is knocked into Dream World, Ichiha is told that she might have just overdone it a little bit, but this doesn't faze her at all because she comes back with one of the most savage responses you could ever come back with. She says, well, this was a battle scenario, and most importantly, I was pissed off, so I kicked his ass because he pissed me off. She doesn't even try to hide it at this point, and I love it. The humor in this moment was so spot on for this panel, and it's meant to pay off the intense chapter, and to have that be the setup for the panel drawn at the bottom of the chapter itself, where you see Asta with the wide eyes completely knocked unconscious. Very nice touch right there. However, we actually see Ryuya give Asta his flowers here by pointing out the fact that since Asta was able to remain standing and conscious after taking a serious hit from Ichiha, it should be applauded because that puts him in very rare company, which is in of itself very insane because this confirms there are stronger people in this country, and Asta is about to get a lot stronger because he's durable enough to withstand her assault, which by extension means he can withstand the other assaults of the other people in this country as well. This also puts into context all those years of training for his body because it prepared him for this very moment where he's undergoing this training, which is being used to get him ready for the biggest battle of his life. Now, I can see a lot of backlash here. There are going to be people who dislike the idea that Asta just got bodied, he just got dog walked by a brand new character who just appeared in this series out of nowhere, but I do think this works, and I think it works well. While it is the standard shonen power creep that you normally get between arcs, especially in a final arc, this does line up with the world building that we're seeing here, and it makes Asta's training that he's getting that much more impactful, because if you're seeing what this power can do for Ichiha, imagine what it can do when Asta finally masters it. He's basically getting the same treatment that Ichigo got in Bleach, where he began training for his final battle in the 1,000-year Blood War arc. So this is fine in my opinion. I've seen worse in Shonen Jump than something like this. This is not even in the top 10 of the most craziest power creeps and beatdowns in shonen. So this is fine in my opinion. I think we can take away from this battle, the biggest thing is that Asta's going to learn how to efficiently use his power and the way that he uses ki, both being used in conjunction to take down Lucius, which is going to make sense. You're only going to get one real shot where you're going to have the advantage of seemingly coming back from the dead and showing off this new power. Now, Lucius isn't stupid. Once he sees how Asta's fighting, he's going to be able to read through his actions eventually to find a path forward, which I think is promising. If Asta doesn't return and immediately stomp Lucius, but instead returns and stalemates him or forces him to retreat, and then he has to make the adjustments to bring down Lucius in the next round, potentially fighting with other people beside him. I think we're seeing confirmation that Yami's sister is clearly above Black Asta here. I think everybody can see that, and that just lets us see how strong the characters in the Land of the Sun actually are. And if Asta gets training from more than one person, it has the potential to boost him up rather quickly in a short period of time, something that we saw in Demon Slayer towards the end of the manga, which I won't go further into so as to not spoil anime only fans. I think the tropes here definitely work between the sparring match, both meant to tear down Asta while also showing that he's pretty special even in this brand new world that he's never been to before, and it makes use of the tsundere trope, and it low-key just made Noelle look a lot like Mimosa in terms of how she treats Asta, because Yami's sister is more violent than those dumps that Yami is constantly taking. She's Yami and Mereoleona rolled into one pint-sized badass, and given how both of these characters played a role in Asta's development, this has potential of being something really special depending on how the story shakes out from here. So my chapter question to you guys is, how do you feel about Black Asta losing this easily, and how high would you rank Ichiha if she was in the Clover Kingdom? While you think that over, click here to watch this other Black Clover video, or click here to watch these other anime videos you see on the screen right now.